apartment complex. And I was walking the property one day and I said, I just feel like I could add something here. And I started to think about the parking. So I had 20 buildings, and each building had 2 doors in it. Outside those doors were 2 parking spots. I thought, let me try renting some parking. So I took 25% of that and started to rent it at $25 a month. Within 6 months, they were all rented at $25 a month, the 25% of the units. And I had a waiting list of about 90 days. So within 14 months, I had all 80 parking spots rented for $75 a month. I increased the value of that property $450,000 through that one amenity by adding that. And there's a lot of things you can do. You have to start to think out of the box. What will give you, what are you creative with? If you have a swimming pool and a dog park and maybe a car washing station, now what you can do is start to add a community fee. Add a little bit of extra, $10, $20 a month. Maybe you put a tech package in. Maybe you sell cable and cellular service back to your tenants. But then there's C-class properties. C-class are a little bit older, built in the 1970s. You're going to have the 8-foot ceilings. Sometimes you're going to find green and yellow fixtures in them. Old Formica countertops, old cabinets. Gives you a lot of opportunity. C-class properties throw off a lot of cash flow and create a lot of value on the back end. They don't appreciate as much as a B or a A-class property does. But markets are classified the same way. So if you can find a C-class property in a B-class market, and you can make improvements to drive it to the B-class status, now what you've done is you've really turned that property around. So you have to think about those things. And then B-class, you're going to find in the tougher neighborhoods, more run down, a lot of affordable housing product. What I know a lot of people in that space that make a ton of cash flow just in the B-class product. So again, you pick what you like, you stay focused on it, and you move in that direction. So why is right now a time to invest in multifamily? I think there's a number of reasons. I talked about rising costs, rising gas prices. I think there's 2 times in life we can plant a tree. One is 20 years ago, and one is today. If you get started today and you ride that next bull run, you're going to be successful as a result of it. It's a strong hedge against inflation. When you have those rising costs, you have to keep up with it. So the cash flow from cash-producing products gives you that edge against inflation and helps you offset it. In the U.S., we have a housing shortage right now. 4.3 million more homes need to be built by 2035 to handle the next wave of population coming into the rental market. This includes 600,000 homes that didn't get built because of the 2008 financial crisis. So if you buy existing product today, you can improve that in order to bring in some of those, absorb some of that housing shortage. They say that right now there's more cranes and more temporary fences built in every city around the country than there's ever been. And if all the product was delivered today, we'd still have a housing shortage. And remember, builders are pulling permits right now. They're pulling back from the market because of where the market is, because of interest rates and the cost of capital. So this again proves opportunity. Freddie came out with a report this week that said in 2023 that their projections are that the gross income in this country is going to rise 3.5%. And they say we're in an inflationary period, and they say there's no jobs, and they say that there's no opportunity, right? But yet you have one of the government agencies that's saying that the gross income is going to go up 3.5% this year. They also say that vacancy is going to stay pretty consistent at about 5%. When we underwrite a multifamily deal, we look at vacancy being at about 10%. So to see a number like this, we just see optimism inside this industry. And that rent growth is gonna be about 3.9% over 2023 as we move forward. And construction levels are stated to still stay high. So how do we locate these deals? Again, I go back to the relationship thing. Building relationships with brokers around the country where you're gonna get a good supply. But who else do you know who's a wholesaler? Who else